Give it up.
Thank you, sir. All right, we got a mic, we got a clicker. We are going to have a presentation in a minute. Let's see how that goes. There we go. So I figured I'd give you a little bit of context. I'm the CEO of iStrategyLabs. We're a digital and experiential agency. We produce big experiences, mostly for brands, sometimes just for ourselves or whatever. 20,000 person festival a couple months ago. DC Week will be in November. I could go through these bullets, but I really promise the ego is not the really, really big one here. It's this little one that's kind of hidden by the plus sign or the play sign there. Anyhow, so I guess I've always been fascinated by experience. So you walk into a store, you walk into a concert, you walk into a theater. How have we shaped that space for people to be excited and connected and inspired? And hopefully, who's been inspired by something this morning so far? Just raise your hand, yell out a little bit. A little bit. All right, good. That's good, right? So we think about how do we stimulate that? And so obviously, if you guys have seen this store, this is apparently the most photographed landmark in New York. Did you know that? It's amazing, right? So obviously, Apple thought very much about that experience that they were going to design for people that are going to come through that store. And when we walk in there, what do you want to do? I mean, I just want to rip out my credit card and just be like, okay, I need 2 iPads, 5 phones, I don't know. And you really don't. You really don't. And one of the interesting statistics that came out, I think it was 2 weeks ago, is that something like 75% of people who visit the Apple store feel satisfied even if they didn't buy something. Right? So what does that mean for a brand to do that? To have that like persistent satisfaction with almost everything that they do? Right? And do you do that in your own life? And I think about that. I'm like, what are people's interactions with me like? When I say hello, did I have really bad breath? Did I try to push what I'm doing on them? Or did I ask them what they're doing? Or what does that interaction look like? What's that experience? What do you come away with? And obviously this is persistent across retail. Right? So Pinkberry wants to create a place where you just want to kind of hang out, have some yoga with friends, maybe bring a date, maybe freak a little kid out, I don't know. I don't know what she was eating that she was like, holy. She must be either really, is she really excited? Who knows? Is she excited? Is she scared? Is she being silly? So what are those things? And so I think some of us think that in this social media space that, you know, Foursquare is maybe the be-all, end-all of this kind of interacting in physical spaces. And I think that's part of it. I found this picture on Flickr, and everyone's credited at the end. This is like absolute social media porn. Right? Like, how many badges can I show you? This is the dirtiest Foursquare porn that you can ever find. I wonder how many of these badges I have myself. I don't know. I never got the pizza slice one. Who's gotten the pizza slice badge? There's one over there. 2, 3. All right, you're New Yorkers. You get a lot of pizza. Checking in a lot of pizza places. Is that ultimate reward for where you check into a place a cookie? No, I don't know. You know, that's kind of cool. But we think about, you know, our business, like when we're asking someone to come to a place or do something, what do they really get? And this ephemeral digital badge thing is really not enough, right? And it's still really early, so I'm not necessarily saying that Dennis and his team are missing the boat. But there's so much more, right? And if I'm this Lego character going to my favorite coffee shop, this is maybe one of my favorite pictures of all time, and I really just wanted to put it up, maybe frame it or something. But becoming the mayor, right? Totally meaningless. That's not really the be-all, end-all of social experience. Now, we go into a place and it's like, oh, I'm the mayor. Okay, I get a free cup of coffee. Is there a perk on here? I can't really see it. I don't think so. I think there's a whole lot more, right? And I don't even think that it's like having check-ins on billboards. I don't really think that that's the be-all, end-all of what social experience is going to be. And again, I'm not really, you know, trying to torpedo what people are doing, but this is all just the really, really early stuff. Right? I don't know how many people are in this sort of experiential space in some way, shape, or form? You build experiences for brands or something else like that. Maybe you're a producer. This is like, I don't know, this is like IRC or something in 1992, right? So, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff I think it is really going to be the future. It's also not just having a logo on a billboard somewhere saying, check in. How many of you see ads, you're walking down the street, there's a bus stop billboard or otherwise, and you just see a Foursquare or a Twitter logo or a Facebook logo, and you're like, what are you trying to tell me? Like, I get it. You're on Facebook, right? So is everybody else. And why are you wasting 10 inches by 10 inches on your design to tell me that? It's ridiculous. So this is all going to change. This stadium thing is going to change. This is actually more towards where I think we are or are going, or what is going to be persistent. So who had seen this dog food billboard that when you check in it dispenses dog food? Had many people seen that? I mean, really, that's what it's about, right? I've got an incredibly powerful device in my pocket. I've got an incredibly expansive and interesting network behind all of that, right? People on the web who follow me or otherwise. And then based on that social action, I am rewarded in real time in physical space for that thing. Who cares about the digital badge, right? I want the dog food. Well, I don't have a dog. I don't really want the dog. You guys don't laugh very much here. You New Yorkers you guys are grumpy. I'll do this talk somewhere else and people are like freaking out. It's awesome. Anyway.
Say something rude about the French.
I should have just showed, I could say something rude about the French, or I should have just showed kittens. This should be like a slideshow of kittens. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's the most amazing presentation I've ever seen. Love it. So we were just hacking one weekend at our office down in DC. And we're like, well, how can we have a lot of people come through the office. And we're like, well, how do we really put this stuff into practice, right? So with this, we just said, let's play a game, right? You check into our office, and these tiles reveal from the map, and there's a prize underneath. Guess what? It's beer, right? Like, great prize. Everyone loves beer, or most people love beer. And it's just really simple. And what we began to find out was, like, when you have this up on a display, and people walk in, they literally, like, rip out their phones from their pockets and like, yeah, I'm totally checking in. So think about how you're designing that physical place, right, to encourage those social actions that people are rewarded for in some way, shape, or form with real stuff, right, in real time. Now, I get it. There are rewards in Foursquare where I can check in and I get that free beer or otherwise. What becomes really interesting is when it's a big group action and it's in a big space, and we all have to work together to do something. This room, actually, I should have set up a demo. This whole room could unlock something really amazing in real time on that screen, right? So we thought about that for Pinkberry then, and we did this whole, like, you know, you can unlock social VIP if only 400 of us got together at that store opening, and by the way, they didn't make it. Then we'd all become social VIP, we'd all get yogurt for the next couple days or whatever else it is. And this is all just really early stuff and takes us, like, no time to build, so not saying it's too complex. But what happens when we say, okay, 10,000 of you, you're in this stadium, you just came to the Yankees game, you're just coming to, you know, watch the Giants or whatever else it is. If 10,000 of you do this specific thing, guess what? Free Coca-Cola for the next 5 minutes. Rush your concession stands, or free hot dogs for everybody, right? Or Lucky Square, right? You just got your seat upgraded. Or you just won, you know, tickets to Rio based on our sponsor, our airline sponsor. So I think all that stuff is interesting, but actually giving those real cookies in real time, I think, is even more interesting. I think we're inundated by this fake social bling that isn't really valuable at all, and it's really just tugging on our, like, Pavlovian baked-in responses of, like, action reward, and it's not really fulfilling, right? So then I think about, and this is my favorite thing, and this is, again, another favorite picture. What if I can't really unlock that thing unless it's tied to clout? Not clout specifically, but influence. And that's amazing that clout is becoming synonymous with influence. Right? So if I am the pirate, the one I patched pirate with the 63 clout score, and I do my specific action, my treasure chest opens up. I'm talking about a real treasure chest that I get something. I get some doubloons, apparently. But that parrot only had a clout score of 6. Guess what? He can't open that chest. I'm sorry. You know, you wanted to go backstage in the green room. Parrot had a clout score of 6. He tried to check in. The thing didn't open, right? I think that people, over the next 3 to 5 years, this is going to become persistent. We'll be unlocking physical space with social actions based on influence everywhere. And it's going to be commonplace. This is a picture from Disney World. This is King Arthur's sword stuck in the anvil. If she had the clout score of 60, and if the right technology was baked into that anvil, she'd be able to pull it out. Right? This is literally, we could build this today if we could find the time to get away from all the other stuff that we're building. So think about a world where the device you have, the network you've built, that social influence you built up, literally lets you unlock physical place. I think that's really fascinating. That's the kind of stuff I think about all the time. And this, you probably don't know what this is. I mean, I didn't really know what it was. It's a lock, right? It's a lock for a car door. So what are the new locks, right? What are the new things we can open with this kind of methodology and this kind of thinking? So you could think about that. I think it's interesting. And what are the new keys, right? And are those new keys all of you? Is it just one of you? Is it 1,000 of you at the same time? Is it a tweet? Is it a Foursquare check-in? Is it a Facebook Places check-in? Is it a like of some form? All of those things are keys, right? So when you start to look at the world in that frame, hopefully you see something a little bit different. Anyway, I'm Corbett 3000. Thank you for listening to me. You can find me on Twitter, and I'll see you the rest of the conference.